Y'all have probably seen it. This video comes across my feed straight out of Chicago. A mother and her little child getting attacked by a group of elementary school kids. I'm watching babies beat on a grown woman, kicking, stomping. The woman is screaming for help. And these little kids are acting like ain't nothing going on. This is normal. It was crazy. My first reaction was anger, disappointment, embarrassment, and honestly, my first instinct was lock them up. They got to go to jail. They got to go down. What's up, team? It's Coach, and welcome to the first episode of Coach Unfiltered, the place where we talk real life, real issues, and real solutions. No sugarcoating, no filters. I'm your host, Coach Boz, educator, football coach, former criminal defense attorney. Today, I got to talk about something that hit me hard. I know y'all have probably seen it. This video comes across my feed straight out of Chicago. A mother and her little child getting attacked by a group of elementary school kids. I'm talking babies. I'm watching babies beat on a grown woman, kicking, stomping, but the woman is screaming for help. And these little kids are acting like this is normal. Like, it was crazy. And honestly, my first instinct was lock them up. They got to go to jail. They got to go down. And it felt like something only extreme consequences could fix. But I sat and thought, and after the anger cooled off, another voice stepped in. See, I've worn a lot of hats in my life: coach, dean, mentor. But before all of that, I was a criminal defense attorney for 15 years. And before that, I was a juvenile probation officer. So I had to check myself, not excuse the behavior. Don't get me wrong. Let me be very clear. But I had to check my own instinct because I know what happens when we take children, especially children from terrible situations, from broken situations, and we toss them straight into the system. Like the system is built to fix them, and it's not. I've seen kids come into the courtroom angry and leave angrier. I've seen kids make mistakes at 10 or 11 and spend the next decade paying for it, not just in court, but in their identity. I've seen the label criminal become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I had to pause and ask myself, what's in the best interest of these children and the victim and the community? And it's not revenge. It's not internet emotions and Twitter trolls, but we need actual solutions. Here's the truth. What those kids did was horrific. It was unacceptable, and there must be accountability. But accountability doesn't always mean incarceration. Let's be honest. If a child is comfortable beating up a mother and a toddler in broad daylight, that child has been failed a long, long time ago. Failed at home, failed at school, failed by the environment, failed by every adult who's supposed to teach them empathy, self-control, and humanity. So what do we do? Because lock them up feels good emotionally, but it doesn't solve the problem. Better question is, how do we pull a kid back before they become the teenager who does get locked up? So let's talk about solutions, not reactions, not hashtags, not throw them away comments from people who don't work with kids at all. I'm talking about real intervention. Stuff I've seen work, stuff that changes behavior, changes outcomes, and changes communities. Because when kids that young, we talking elementary school age, commit violence like that, it's not a discipline issue. It's a symptom of a deeper problem. So here's what actually needs to happen. Number one, there's got to be immediate accountability, not cruelty, but clarity. Kids need to understand that there are lines that you do not cross, period. There should be real, tangible consequences. Suspension that includes parent meeting, not just time at home. Mandatory violence intervention counseling. removal from all extracurricular activities or privileges, sports teams, anything like that, until real progress has shown. This isn't about punishment as much as it is about breaking the belief that I can do whatever I want and nothing's going to happen to me. Children need boundaries, even if they pretend they don't. Number two, there needs to be family intervention, because behavior like this starts at home. Whenever I see kids act out violently, I'm not just looking at the kid. I'm looking at the ecosystem built around the kid. You can't fix school behavior without understanding home behavior. When I get on the phone with a parent, the first question I always ask them is, how do they act at home? That means social workers stepping in immediately, a full assessment of the home environment, parenting support, not just blaming the parents, but giving them real tools, mandatory family counseling sessions. And the social worker needs to check for trauma, neglect, food instabilities, and an unstable living situation. Most kids who act like this have been exposed to violence or chaos long before that video happened. Kids will show you what they're living through, not just with their words, but with their actions. Number three, school-based interventions need to be early, consistent, and not reactionary. Schools can't be expected to replace parents, but we can identify patterns early. If a kid is constantly in fights, showing aggression towards other kids, bullying, blowing up, or crashing out in class, we cannot just say, oh, that's just how they are. These are opportunities for behavior specialists, restorative justice coordinators, or trauma-informed teachers, mentorship programs, in-school therapeutic services, and an individual behavioral plan. Schools need support. They need better staffing, funding, and training to meet the needs before they spill out into the streets. Number four, there has to be some community responsibility. We all play a role in this. Kids don't grow up in isolation. They grow up in an ecosystem. Schools, neighborhoods, churches, rec centers, social media. We can't just blame parents or schools. That's too easy. Our communities need youth mentors and coaches, after-school programs to keep kids busy and cared for. Neighborhood organizations that provide positive identities, conflict resolution programs that teach emotional regulation, not just academics, churches, barbershops, community centers, boys and girls club. They all need to step in early. Because here's the truth. If we don't give kids a healthy identity, the streets will give them a toxic one. And this generation, they're being raised by TikTok, YouTube, and whatever content pops up while no one else is watching. Violence is normal to them. Humiliation is entertainment, and empathy is disappearing. So us, the adults, the mentors, the people who actually care, have to be louder, more consistent, and more present than ever before. Bottom line is this: kids need consequences. Kids need support. Kids need intervention. Kids need community. You can't just punish them into being better, and you can't just love them into being better. It takes structure. It takes accountability. It takes adults who refuse to give up, even when their behavior is hard to stomach. But these are my final thoughts. When I first watched that video, I reacted as a man, as a father, as a protector. But when I sat down, I had to respond as a coach and a leader and somebody who works with young people on a daily basis. And that means this: yes, the children in that video need consequences, but they also need intervention, guidance, and a system that cares enough to catch them before they fall even deeper. Because if we don't fix the root, we're going to keep seeing the fruit. And that fruit right now is rotten. That's today's episode of Coach Unfiltered, where we keep it honest, keep it real, and keep it solution focused. If you felt this, share it. If you disagree, let's talk about it. If you work with kids, let's keep fighting. Until next time, stay strong, stay real. Peace.